What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another installment of Lyles Movie Files. Joining me, as always, is the little brother Jace. How you doing, bro? Shot?
So good, bro. How are you?
Cooling. And the one and only Chief is here. What's up, Chief?
What's going on?
Cooling. And once again, back for consecutive weeks, just to blow your mind. It's the man, the myth, the legend himself, Jay King. What's up, man?
Man, I'm doing wonderful, man. Glad to see y'all.
Excellent. So, Jace, this is exciting news. Hayden Christensen said he's binged on Clone Wars and Rebels to prepare for his role in Obi-Wan Kenobi. He really liked how they further played out the role of Obi-Wan and Anakin in the series, and is looking forward to incorporating some of that into Obi-Wan Kenobi. Thoughts?
There's nothing bad with anybody who's a Star Wars actor binging on Clone Wars to kind of figure out, all right, I looked at the movies, I know the movies, but this is that deeper understanding of like kind of stuff you don't see in the movies. And adding, especially for him to add that in, there's like, oh, okay, I see kind of some of the like intricacies of how Obi-Wan and Anakin play off each other and kind of their storylines that aren't in episodes 2 and 3. So it's like, okay, I can kind of incorporate that, like kind of like, hey, why don't you reference this mission when we're having some dialogue, you know, writing script. I mean, like kind of helping everybody out with that. And it's like, and you guys, I mean, it's like you have that storyline was written by the guy who's studied under George Lucas, so that's definitely going to help the show. I mean, of course, it's written by, helped by Jon Favreau. So I think it's a good thing. I'm very cool with it. I'm hoping we get to see more Hayden Christensen's Anakin versus just him being Darth Vader in Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I think that, I mean, hey, I'm thumbs up for it.
There are rumors of at least a Clone Wars flashback, so that would be really cool to see both of them in live action, maybe in the clone trooper armor along with their Jedi attire. That would be really cool.
I think that just right there is like, yeah, that's exactly what I would want. I mean, because Hayden Christensen doesn't look that much older than he did. It's like, I mean, I know that movie was almost 20 years ago. He doesn't look that different.
No.
You just put him back in the old wig and put the hair plugs in. I mean, the hair in him. He's good to go. I mean, so, and everybody will be like, "Oh my gosh, he's so good. Why did we hate him again?
Why do we hate that he talked about sand and was terrible at macking on Padme?"
And honestly, I had to laugh because somebody actually, at like a celebration or autograph signing, literally gave him a box of like a mason jar full of sand for him to sign. I'm like, that's funny.
That's quality work.
Yeah.
All right, well, as you know, the CW has a bunch of DC shows, and I kind of feel like maybe they should have pulled the plug on the continuity that was the Arrowverse with the conclusion of Crisis. Only problem was Flash was still doing well in the ratings for CW. Supergirl was there. Hey, look, we've got a woman superhero show as well. And we've got the last remnants of Arrow. And Legends of Tomorrow still kicking it. Fast forward, the Warner Brothers Discovery Media merger is making it seem very unlikely that the CW is going to have as many shows. So, Chief, it looks like Flash has already been renewed. Superman and Lois has already been renewed. But it looks like they may only move ahead, according to Deadline, with 2 more shows. And they've got Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow, Naomi, and this upcoming Gotham Knights spinoff they're working on.
What about Stargirl?
No mention of Stargirl. I would assume that Stargirl is safe because Stargirl's, a good show.
Yeah.
I think these are the bubble shows. The ones that are, well, do we really want to renew Batwoman? Do we need another season of Legends of Tomorrow? and Naomi's not setting the world on fire with the ratings. What do we do? What do you guys think? Should any of them be renewed, or should they just say maybe our day of being the superhero network is done? Our shows are too formulaic as is, and it seems like Flash's 9th season may be its last anyway.
I mean, the funny thing is, like, since they started Naomi, I had no interest to watch it because it's like when they said, "Oh, it's not on the regular Earth," it's like I don't want to watch something. This again, you're multiverse, but not connecting it to a multiverse. We're just kind of throwing it out there when it doesn't need to be. We put most of the superhero shows on one Earth, but we're not going to do this one to make it again separate. Like almost how Black Lightning in its last drag of a season. I mean, which wasn't bad, but it was just like it's very disconnected for everything. So you could get rid of that. I mean, it got rid of that. Legends of Tomorrow. It's had a good run. I'm sure everybody there would enjoy having a paycheck, but the fact they had to tell Matt Ryan he can't be Constantine anymore because we have a Constantine show on HBO Max that we're going to do. You might as well just wrap the whole thing up. What else? And like Gotham Knights, just throw it on HBO Max in case somebody wants to watch it. I don't see that many people watching it. If you have to watch that, maybe Titans. Like, just watch Titans and question your whole judgment on what you want to do with your hours in life.
Well, let me ask the rest of them. Chief, Javon, would you be interested in watching Gotham Knights, a show set after the death of Batman, where some of Gotham's heroes and villains' children have to restore peace and order in Gotham City? Either one of y'all.
I'm like, no. DC, so much damage, it's hard to care about anything they got going on. I don't care what it is right now. So much damage has been done. I would rather they took a camera crew and followed Ezra Miller's crazy ass.
That's coming up next. That's coming up next.
I would hope so. That maybe that saves things, but there's nothing they can do right now with what they. I'll say this: there's nothing that they can do, that they're doing right now that's going to incentivize me personally to watch.
Yeah, Chief, how about you?
I watched a episode of Flash since Iris was trapped on the other side of the mirror.
Yep.
So we're there with that. I don't even remember the last Supergirl episode I watched.
You missed so much, Chief.
Any of this season, that last season.
And it's funny, I didn't even realize it was still on until you just said something. I was like, what?
No, it's done. Supergirl's over.
But I'm saying I didn't even watch. I don't even know. Did it come on this season? Was it on at all?
Last season wrapped up.
Okay, so I didn't even know. Flash. Yeah. I think the problem with Flash was for me the length of the villains.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be 20 episodes in, 25 episodes in, and the villain was still, it wasn't even like a great villain. You know what I mean? It'd be like Paper Cut Man. And, he's running around the city just giving people paper cuts and running off. And then the Flash be, he's trying to find this dude. And we're just like, that's not even a good storyline. It's Paper Cut Man. You know what I mean? I never watched Arrow, even though you guys told me like season 2 or 3 or something, 3 to something, yeah, was good. I never watched Arrow. Legends of Tomorrow, never watched. Constantine blew me because they had the Constantine series that came on with Harold, was it Perinan or something? What was this?
I think it's pronounced Perinu.
Yeah, so I like that. I like that series. My favorite one was I still once in a while go back and watch it with the Fallen Angel.
It was a great series. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so that was good. They ruined that and took that off the air.
But that, in fairness, that show was on NBC, so we should have known better.
I do still try to catch up with Lois and Lois and Superman, Superman and Lois, however, whichever way. So I still watch that on, now is Kung Fu part of the DC?
No.
Okay. Well, so yeah, so I just, I watched that, like I said, I watched Superman, so I think Superman at this point may be the only show that I will turn to. Cause old girl, I like her from when she used to do Grimm.
Mm-hmm.
And then my man, Superman, he was,
and Teen Wolf?
Wasn't he on, Teen Wolf?
Yes. Yep.
Well, anyway, so, I like the show anyways, but like I said, as far as those other shows, I haven't watched since Hector was a puppy, and Hector has grown old and died. So, I don't know what they're going to do with him. I don't care what they do with him. It's funny because Black Lightning started off really strong. In the middle, it got real soft. And then they had a fire-ass last season. And then it ended. So, yeah, DC can, long walk, short period, as far as I'm concerned.
I'll give you, like, the CW did correct the length of the Flash villains. Like, they've now broken them up to maybe each villain or storyline has about 6 episodes, and then they go to the next thing. Because, like, Mirror, I think it was the Naked Mirror Monarch, that was dragging way too much. Like, The Thinker was like, come on, seriously? This is not a... And Cicada, those 3 seasons back to back were like, come on, guys, this isn't that interesting. And now the last season / I don't know how do you... I don't think I brought the Blu-ray of the last one, but it's like they have switched them up, so it's like 6 episodes. Very much like, all right, here's the storyline, go to the next. Like, and now we're like, so it's a better show, and that's probably why it's sticking around. But like some of the other CW shows, it's like, I totally get your point.
The formula got stale, and they started with Arrow in 2012, and that's when Avengers came out, and Smallville really benefited from desperate for comic book anything on a weekly basis. And then when Arrow came out, it was like, okay, this is like the dawn of this new iteration of comic book stuff. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was on TV, and it was basically that and Arrow. So there wasn't a lot of comic book competition. But then Marvel started cranking out movies 2 and 3 times a year, and they were super high quality. And then the Netflix shows, and I know everybody likes to bash them like, oh, they always suck, but they were really good to start, and those were good. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was really good after the 2nd season, and they just had really good stuff and different alternatives, while the CW focused on a formula that they stayed with from 2012 to 2022, and it's gotten so stale and so old, where Marvel Studios has changed all these different things with their movies and their TV shows, while the CW stuff is still treading in place. Like, okay, this works, so we'll just keep doing that. All right, so that's that with the CW. I'm kind of feeling like they just need to cut bait on everything. But more news, because Javon brought it up. Ezra Miller's arrested one more time because Hawaii is too much fun and Miller keeps getting into so much trouble. And yet, Warner Brothers Discovery has not made any statement about we're shelving the Flashpoint movie because we need to just scrap it and find somebody else to digitally insert in all of Ezra Miller's roles. J. King, what the heck is going on here?
Jeff, I wish I knew. And I hate to be that guy, but imagine if Ezra Miller, Eric Jenkins, you think he would have this much leeway to keep getting into trouble?
See, my whole thing is, I could understand them kind of dragging their feet with Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp's a good actor. Ezra Miller is so easily replaceable. It's not like, oh man, we're going to lose this 7-time Oscar winner if we let go of Ezra Miller. Ezra is just a regular actor that you can find in any studio lot. It's not like, oh man, Ezra's so charismatic. We're going to lose all his fan base.
They got so much tied in, and they have no contingency plans. They have no plan B if this fails, right? So I just so tied on this one. But even if it were Johnny Depp, for me, I wouldn't care who the actor. I don't care if it's Leo DiCaprio. If you behave yourself, which is conducive to an agreement that I'm sure you made, there has to be some kind of conduct policy. There has to be. Like, don't go smacking people because you don't like the karaoke choice that they have at the bar. Like, you have to carry yourself in a certain way, I would like to believe, right? There's millions and millions of dollars that are invested in the making of these movies, promotions, all this. And it's not just Ezra Miller, man. You got people who work on these movies that need him to be right and do right in order for them to make their money, right? And I would like to think that there was a clause in contract that says, hey, a conduct clause. Hey, stop being a jerk off out here, you know? If they can, if Warner Brothers can't say, okay, enough is enough, though this sets us back and we're going to have to go back to the drawing board, we got to make a decision here and say, this isn't the kind of behavior we're going to condone. This isn't the kind of person we want representing our brand. That's part of what lets me know that they have nothing. They got no plan of attack. They've got no checks balanced. They're just winging it and hoping and banking on this one movie with this one guy that, like you said, isn't that damn good to begin with. If you got to scrap it, scrap it. But you kind of have to right your ship there. And for him to lose his job and lose his monies and whatever else, I just want somebody isn't going to be rewarded for being a damn fool out here, because what he's doing is damn foolery, right? Rooted on, okay, this is just a series of misfortunate incidents. He's being punished, unjustly. No, this is guys acting a damn fool out here. And he's not being punished for it. Punish him. Can't fire him. Bring else. But I guess they got too much invested.
It's a messy situation. But maybe there is a magic bullet to fix all these problems, because the new head of Warner Brothers Discovery, David Zaslav, wants to fix the DC movies. And Zaslav actually wants to know what the heck is going on. And this should cause some problems for everyone involved in the DC side of things, because they don't know what the heck's going on themselves. So it's this deal where it's like, maybe we could find somebody like Kevin Feige. Maybe. That sounds like a great idea. But Zaslav wants the top shelf characters at DC, such as Superman, to get revitalized and become a focus of this new outlook for DC. While they still can do little side projects like Joker or Harley Quinn, but they really want to focus on the top tier characters. So, my friends, my fellow co-hosts, I pose this question to you. I'm going to play David Zaslav, and I want you all to give me your pitches for how to fix the mess of my DC Universe films. You can do whatever the heck you want to do. And keep in mind that right now, I've got a Flashpoint movie sitting on the shelf that was delayed till next year. and it's gonna change everything and maybe get rid of the last remnants of this Zack Snyder universe. I've got an Aquaman sequel, a Shazam sequel. I've got Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam coming at some point. I've got a third Wonder Woman film in the books, or it's work that we're working on, and a second season of Peacemaker. Everything else is fair game, but you can do whatever the heck you want to do. Who wants to go first and fix my DC movies and TV?
Okay, we gotta fix Warner Brother movies and TV at the same time.
Well, it's a whole thing, but if you want to just focus on the movie universe, I'll let you do that.
Okay. As much as I hate it, I think you do have to use Flashpoint. If we probably do need to move away from the Zack Snyderverse. I mean, and Flashpoint is probably going to be a turd, and I accept that. But just like kind of how, as much as I hated, and still to this day, what was that? The what was it? The animated kill off New 52 and say, hey, we need a second Flashpoint.
Justice League Apocalypse.
Yeah, basically at the end of Flashpoint, we're gonna say, yeah, I need to create another Flashpoint or wipe Ezra Miller out as the Flash and have Grant Gustin be the Flash and start from there. The next part, and it's like we're gonna have to shrink. I mean, we're gonna have to cut some characters. It's like we're going to start building towards a Justice League versus Legion of Doom. That's my big movie payoff. And from there, I got to build up all the characters to come with it. I got to bring a Batman. I need a Robin. I may need a Teen Titans, but that's probably going to be secondary. But I'm working. I need Batman and Robin. I need Wonder Woman because I keep Gal Gadot. She's a great actress. I need Jason Momoa. I need him for a couple more years and a couple more movies. So I need to crank these things out quick. I need Zach Levi is Shazam. I have a new Barry Allen, which I'm very happy with. I may have to cast a new Arrow, but Stephen Amell said he's open to coming back. And since he's not working on a TV show all the time, I may actually be able to swing him as Green Arrow and try and build all of that, like scrap the whole CW verse. I want to keep Tyler Hoechlin and Elizabeth Tulloch is Superman and Lois, but I'm kind of flexible on if I keep them. I mean, if I keep Henry Cavill, cool. But if not, Henry Cavill's dance card is pretty full, so I'm sure he's not hurting for money. So maybe I just go with them and build their storyline up and work with that. Come up with a good Lex Luthor for Superman to play off. A good round of Joker, Batman, and Robin villains, which will make up probably the cannon fodder of the Justice League. Against and Legion of Doom. And honestly, it's like the funny thing is like their stuff is not broken because they actually have the actors. It's just they crap the movies. The movies they just like, hey, we're not making them fun. You have to make comic book movies fun. You have to focus on good versus evil, and that has to be the basis of the stories. If you do that, you're going to be winning. That's why Marvel's winning all the time. It's like that their formula is simplistic, has good characters, even their origin movies now have evolved. In DC, you don't have to do any more origin movies. Like all these characters, you can just plop out of thin air after a Flashpoint and be like, hey, this is the new actor. I thought I was this, but now, I'm living in it. It's like you come up with whatever storyline you want and then just move on from there. And you build to your Justice League versus Legion of Doom movie. And after that, you figure out where's the next thing to go. But I think that's where you have to start. It's like, we need good versus bad. Good. We have great actors and actresses. Get rid of our problem child like Ezra Miller. His movie wipes himself out easy as heck. It's 2023. If everything's finished shooting, I release it early and then scrap it and have Grant Gustin come in at the end is like, hey, talking basically to Bruce Wayne, just like in Flashpoint, like, did I do it? Yeah, everything's good, and go from there.
Everything's fixed. All right.
I mean, I think but you have to. It's like, get rid of your problem child, scrap everything, good versus evil, and go from there, and make the daggone movies fun. It's like, and you'll have a winning strategy.
So my
and no super stalkers, Supermans either.
So my whole thing with your proposal is I'm feeling like they have messed up so much that if you're going to act like no more Snyderverse, then you have to cut everything that was done in the Snyderverse. So no Gal Gadot, no Jason Momoa, no anybody from that. Start over clean and just say, all right, here's everything new. Because I feel like Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa are doing a lot of things, and I'm sure they're into their characters, but I need to start over and have people invested for 10 years. And they're, just from all the drama, the internal strife, the just stupid decisions, they have wasted so many years that they would have been viable to do 10 movies. And she's shaking his head like, I told y'all this all the time. But it's true, because it's like they wasted 5-6 years where they should be at like Wonder Woman 4 and Justice League 2 or 3 or whatever. And I think if you start with different actors, you can reboot that, reset the clock, and maybe establish a cast where you don't have half of them gone. That like the Henry Cavills, the Ben Afflecks, like, hey, I like them bonding with that crew, not these newcomers.
I your point is well taken, because it is. There's some of those people are gonna be like, oh, I remember working with Zack Snyder. Oh, I remember having to deal with that jerk, Josh Whedon, and oh, I remember how Warner Brothers didn't have my back when we were doing all this, and Ray Fisher's left out to dry. And not saying they would poison the well, but there is like, you probably don't want some of that bad energy or just kind of remembrance. Like, we want, hey, it's all fun, go into this new actors that we can basically work with in the next 10 to 15 years. It's not saying any of these people are aging out right now, but it may be scenarios like, what's my name? Alan Richardson, bring him back as Aquaman. I mean, see if he's not super busy with Reacher, and just like, hey, you're the new, you want to come back and be Aquaman again?
Yeah. Because that was the thing with the New 52. They started their reboot holding on to some stuff from the previous universe, where it was like, okay, everything's brand new except for Batman and Green Lantern. It's like, what? What are you talking about? Black as Night happened. Then how is this? It was like, and they never explained it in a way that made sense. It was just like all this stuff still carried through. And you don't want your movie audience confused like that too.
Yeah, I mean, but again, and then you still have to do with those black label movies, and it's like, I don't see why you couldn't just keep those in, like Harley Quinn. Why do I need to have her in a separate universe? Like Joker, it's a foolish project. I mean, I don't get. If I don't care if it got money, credits, a sequel's gonna suck. You guys don't even see that happening. It's like this is one of those times everyone tells you to do it and tells you to do it, but you should know it's a bad idea. It's like, what new ground are you gonna bring with Arthur the Joker? Like, are you gonna have him fighting Batman who's like 12 years old? No. You're gonna have him leading a broken down Gotham for Bruce Wayne to. He's still not going to be, like, he's not even created by Batman, and that's one of the key elements of their rivalry. And we're going to keep that going? Like, no. It's like, you come up with some crap, and then it's like, oh, wow, we thought it was a good idea. We put $200 million in it, and it sucks. It's like, that's one of those, get rid of that stupid project. The Batman, the greatest Batman ever, toss it in the trash. I mean, unless you're going to build your whole new universe around him as the Batman, which is possible. Which nothing precludes from happening. Like, bring him as Batman.
Chief looks so upset. Chief looks like he was about to come through the screen and attack you, Homer Simpson style, and choke you out. Like, no, I'm not down for a Robert Pattinson Batman at the center of this universe.
I mean, look, they're already almost in bed to do like two or three more two sequels on that. And it's like, if you're gonna do Batman, you can't start on the multiverse. This is why it's a Marvel 15 years bring out like straight up multiverse. Like they teased it in what was it? Far From Home. But then they were like, yeah, let's it's a tease. Then we can bring it on when we actually, we break the universe. DC starts from a broken universe and that's why they can't figure out how to put everything back together.
That's true. J. King, how are you going to fix this?
First things first, you're going to have to dream team. I say dream team, you're going to have to get the writers and directors that you need to make this. You need these people involved to make it work so that you can present to the remaining core group of folks. When I say core group, I'm thinking Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, and Jason Momoa. I could deal with Ben Affleck, Batman. We'll recast, and I got a choice or two for that. But in place the people who are going to make these movies work, because I would start around that, right? To sell the people that become familiar with these characters. So with that said, I'm presenting to them, and I'm presenting hard. I'm asking them for a chance. And the thing that you got to remember is this: they can do other movies, they can do roles. That's fine, and they're gonna get other roles. The way is gonna comparison to what you're gonna do with a comic book movie. It is what it is. It is what it is. Robert Downey Jr. what Doolittle did versus Iron Man, the worst Iron Man of the series. 2. Ask him what the numbers were versus, right? They'll come back and do these movies. They'll come back. They just going to be less of the nonsense or none of the nonsense that they dealt with while making or being around the former DC universe, right? So there's that. I would recast Ezra Miller and probably go in the direction of what's his name, Finn Wolfhard, or the kid from Dune. Timothy
Chalamet.
One of them. I would cast either one of them as Flash, and for Bruce Wayne, I would try to go either. I wanted to say Chris Pine, but you can't for obvious reasons. Would even go Joseph Gordon-Levitt, see if he would be interested. I'm on time with Batman, and even I haven't seen Pattinson's Batman yet, but I don't know, maybe even him.
It's now streaming on HBO Max.
Yeah, it's on. I haven't seen it yet. I'll get around to it. I would Batman, recast those two. Hey, instead of just jumping right into a Justice League movie, even Cyborg, I would see if my man Ray Fisher's still involved, of course. What I would do is you got to start with those the heavy hitters of the series, right? So Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. You're gonna do another Aquaman, right? Real movies, do real movies that are good, great stories, and you gotta build these movies and have them kind of tie in the fabric of a Justice League. Have them tie in the fabric of the Flash movie. I scrap it until you get one of those two that I named to do it and do a good movie, so that all ties in together. Cyborg, full Cyborg film, like a Cyborg origin film. I think it could work. Honestly, I think it could work. Do that too. All of them would get a movie, but I would do a Marvel style. So I'm pumping out 2 of those movies out of what? That's 5 characters. I'm pumping out 2 a year, one standalone, and the one standalone will be the strongest of the characters, right? So Superman will be the standalone for that next year, right? After we pumped out the 4, that Superman movie is going to be the last one. So that's the tie-in. And from there, I would, for the series, right? And once you pumped out those movies, Justice League, a strong Justice League movie that fixes the movie universe. For the series, Peacemaker is good footway. I would give folks some they may not be familiar with. I keep saying Jerusalem, and this would be perfect for a series on Max. I think would be a good series on Max. Make it a little funny, make it a little tongue in cheek, make it fun, make them fun to watch. Because the Peacemaker is fun to watch. Keep that going. Keep that going. You could in a Lex Luthor. I think a Lex Luthor series would be. You see what Loki did, what the Loki series has done with Marvel. I would do that for Lex. And for the auxiliary DC movies, after you've done the whole Justice League thing, Black Adam and Shazam are going to come out at some point. I would have saved those for after. He is aging like bananas in the sun. He can still pull these movies off. He's still, he can still pull them off. I would just kind of back burner those, right? They're going to come out. The Black Adam's already going to come out. But anything as far as a sequel would be pushed down the line. That's my suggestion. And that would be a reasonable course of action.
Cool. All right, Chief. I left it for you. So you can go last. Take us home. How are you going to fix the DC universe?
All right. So I've heard Jace, I've heard Javon. Both of y'all had some good points in there.
He's got the dramatic hands in the face.
Here it is. So we come back with a Superman movie, a Wonder Woman movie, Aquaman, and we do a Shazam movie, right? I don't want to do Batman here, but he can make a cameo in everyone's movie just to keep him around if need be. Here's what happens. Lex Luthor in all these movies are throwing villains at them from the Legion of Doom. Testing their abilities, he's testing their weaknesses, right? So all these movies are about to tie into a Justice League collabo versus the Legion of Doom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right then and there, we eventually, they whatever with the enemies, blah blah blah. Somehow we tied in. There's a Legion of Doom movie, right? We get that done. We can introduce new characters in this Justice League movie, Legion of Doom movie. We can bring a Green Lantern along, or whatever the case may be, because we can introduce any one of those characters in any one of those other movies that I suggested. You know what I mean? Bring somebody in. We don't have to do an origin story. We can just kind of, somebody shows up, helping out, blah blah blah, with this, whatever our hero's particular obstacle he has to face. Then we have the Flash movie. In the Flash movie, while he's running, you start to see Christian Bale's Batman, right? And flashbacks and scenes. You see Ben Affleck's, you see Robert Pattinson's, right? So he's establishing these different universes, right? So this is how you run the Batmans concurrent. So you can still push out Robert Pattinson from a different world, different than the Ben Affleck Batman. So you can still push both movies at the same time with a Batman and a Robert Pattinson, because they're on different planes. You know what I mean? Because there's a Christian Bale, blah blah blah. You might even see Gordon Levitt putting on a Batman mask in one of the joints, just to, you know what I mean? Just so they open up the joint totally, and then you can add, whoever you want in those flashbacks and a couple of scenes from the Flashpoint movie, just to open up the whole entire DC universe to whatever you might want to throw at it. You know what I'm saying? So that happens. Then from that point, you start throwing. You got your Black Adams, and you start throwing some of the other characters, right? And this is how you go simultaneously. There's always 2 or 3 DC movies pumping out each year. It's just rotating. You can rotate a Batman, Robert Pattinson Batman. Then the next year, Ben Affleck's with our guys in this one. You know what I mean? Batman's got his people in this one. You introduce different people for this side. Then you start introducing other characters, right? Because you're only gonna do. Let's just say we're not gonna go as hard as the Avengers movie. So let's just say everybody gets another. Superman gets another round. We got the Superman movie. Everybody, blah blah blah. Then we do another team up, and then then we end their arc. You know what I mean? Then at that point, the people introduced through the flashback, now you can start bringing them in. You know what I mean? Those universes coming in, doing their thing. So it's always continuous. There's always something explained. Like how they would throw like we were getting the Sony Spider-Man. then they would give us 2 or 3 good Spider-Mans and they would cut and there would be a new face, but they wouldn't explain it. So so we take care of it like that, man. I don't want no Ray Cyborg joint, but he can be on the Justice League. You know what I mean? Like I said, you can introduce Green Lantern, you can introduce the Martian, you can introduce whoever, Booster Gold. I don't care. All these new people coming in doing their thing. And that's how I think because I think it's really. I think you're doing a disservice to the fans by erasing the Snyderverse. Before you got it rolling, people enjoyed that universe. We want to see content from there. Even though you messed us up with this Wonder Woman 1984. But Shazam. I'm hoping the next Shazam is really good. I'm hoping the next Aquaman rocks, right? Like I said, we just gotta start introducing these different characters from that joint while doing a flashpoint and then having those other characters that you can also run. And this way, DC never runs out of content. There's always stories, and then they can interject it how they want and turn it how they want without cheating, the customers, which is us. So I think that's how it is. That's how it is. I mean, just you want to, it's just so bad, man. Because in a sense, I just want to be like, the hell with DC. You know what I mean? Make mine Marvel. You know what I mean? Because I mean, Disney just got a lock on the joint, man. But whoever comes in, man, they've got to reassess this. They've got to do these things, man. I don't think you can just leave these characters just out there like that and not do nothing. Just be like, you know what, we're gonna ignore them. And the fact that I don't know why it takes so long. You know who they are? DC is the Bad Boys. You know what I mean? Because you have Bad Boys 1, right? And then years later, Bad Boy 2. And then years later, Bad Boy 3. And then I hear somewhere in here now a Bad Boy 4 is in the works, right? But Bad Boy 3 dropped, 4 years ago now?
Yeah, it's got 6 more years before we get the Bad Boys 4.
So, you know what I mean? So, and I think DC is going that same route. You get 1 movie per year. It may suck, which probably more than likely it will. And then at that point, so I think they have to start giving us 3 movies a year at least. There should be 1 coming out of the new year. There should be 1 for the summer, and then there should be 1 going into the winter. And it should just rotate like that until they get this story done. I don't understand. So you say, let's just say 9 movies would clear this up. That's 3 years. That's it. That's all we need, bro. Then we can go on and you can put it on DVD or Blu-ray, and we'll buy the shit and watch it over if it's decent. You know, I'm trying to figure out there's no strategy. There's no, you know, so obviously they're not in it to make money. It's like a frat boy got a hold of it and is just doing his version. So we'll see, man. You know, you say this new guy's gonna come in and he wants to see these different the characters that you know, but he's got to do at least 3 a year. He's got to pump out 3 movies a year, and they have to be decent, man. He's got to find some writers, you know, and give Zack Snyder what he want. You know what I mean? If you got to go in there and massage his feet yourself to make that joint work, hey man, get the rubbing, bring the oils, because you got to do something with this DC universe, man. People are complaining about it, like, you know what I mean? You don't. I don't know, man. So yeah, so I think that goes somewhat into fixing the DC universe, man. And then, like I said, off that Flashpoint, you can run whatever you want, man. But you've got to get these main characters back in. You got to get your moneymakers back in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, nobody's lining up for what was the dude? Plastic Man? What was the?
I watched a Plastic
what was the
Man
dude?
movie.
Flash's boy, the bendy dude.
Elongated Man.
Elongated Man. Nobody's lining up to see Elongated Man. Like that, you can see DC coming out with an Elongated Man with the movie.
No, you can see Marvel doing that. Marvel would do that, and it would be a big hit because they've established that, hey, we can make anything work because we know our audience.
Listen, Marvel at this point could have a piece of grass growing in a field, and people will go see that blade of grass grow.
Man, that's an awesome blade of grass. Did you see that trailer?
You know what I mean?
Let's watch it again.
Yeah, the cinematography on that, you know what I mean?
And the
but
colors,
that blade of grass would have a story. There would be things trying to attack it.
There'd be a great soundtrack.
What I mean?
Yeah. Watch out for the ant. Here come the locust. Oh, man, here comes a dog. Oh, no, he's bending his leg. Yeah, it'd be crazy. Yeah.
I mean, I'm right now, I'm going back through the Luke Cage series.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because it was so good. Like, that's you know, I don't, who's watching anything from DC? Like, DC had the app out, right? And we all let it go. And you know what's funny? We never even thought nothing about it. We was like, you know what? Yeah, peace. You know what I mean? And we let that thing go. Think about if they took away your Disney Plus subscription.
Yeah. Like, wait, where's my password? What's up? I need to renew. Right. What are you talking about? Yeah. And that doesn't even count Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah.
The DC joint, we was like, yo, there's nothing about DC we want to see.
Bye. So here's the thing for me. It's like DC has had these rough starts and stops. We've had movies like Catwoman, Green Lantern, and they show that they can fix things. They've had Jonah Hex. They've had Batman and Robin, which could have killed a lot of franchises. But they show resiliency in getting people to care about their characters. So I feel like what they really need to do is just clean slate it all, start from scratch, create a separate entity called the Snyderverse so the very passionate, devoted Snyder fan base can still be satiated while they move forward with a main core universe that is clearly the focus of everything else going forward. That way everybody's happy. The Snyder fans, which are very loud, vocal on social media, and they can get their movie, and Warner Brothers Discovery can have a new franchise with new faces that they can pump out and be like, yes, look what we've done. All right, it's that magical time of the week. Fellas, do you have any nominees for Dummies of the Week? Bro, let's do something new and start with you.
Oh, thanks. I do appreciate that. But since I can't actually name anybody, I'm going to be hating on you for putting me up first. But I don't actually have a Dummy of the Week this week.
It's terrible. All right. Well, my nominee would be Deebo Samuel, who had all the fan support at the start of this whole free agency deal, and somehow he has done scrubbing of social media. Well, I don't want to play for the team anymore. Trade me, to making the fans go, well, bump him, get him out of here. Let's see what we can get. And I think he's my dummy of the week because he wants the same money as Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams, but has really only done it for a season and a half on a level they've been doing, playing at for 5 and 6 years. I'm like, come on, man. I'm all about you getting paid, but come on, dude. You can't be the highest paid
I have
receiver.
to interject.
Go for it, man.
Devontae Adams, quarterback, was who during this time?
All I'm saying.
Quarterback was who during this time?
All I'm saying, and this is true, what you're saying is complete facts. However, Tyreek was doing it before. I mean, he's done it consistently. Devontae been doing it consistently. Stephon Diggs was doing it consistently with Kirk Cousins. And Kirk and Jimmy G are about the same level quarterback.
No.
I was just say, you know what's gonna be funny is like Debo.
That's right, because Jimmy wins playoff games and Kirk Cousins doesn't. You're right.
Yeah, like
Debo San Francisco 49ers defense wins playoff games, not Jimmy garbage.
It's terrible. I won't sit for Jimmy slander.
If the Broncos didn't get Russell Wilson, I would have been happy to have him as an upgrade. Jimmy G is an upgrade versus the lackluster garbage we've been dealing with.
How dare you slander Drew Lock?
Man, you're just happy that he's going to be in your division. You get some guaranteed wins. But like Debo's going to find himself like a member of the Washington Commanders and be like, I'm only averaging 500 yards a season because I didn't want to be overused as a running back, which I'm okay. I understand, but it's like you could literally put that in your contract. Like I'm not running up his running back all the time. Yeah. But him to just like the super demanded trade, it's like you're about to be a free agent. Like just you can actually say it. Like these dudes want to pay you money. Like why would you say I don't want you guys to pay me. I want somebody else to pay me money. It's like you're not Adams who can say I've already got my boy basically vouching for me in LA. I know I'm getting my bag. You're a dude's like if you tell everybody, oh yeah, I'm great, but it's like okay, yeah. maybe you go to Jerry World. Maybe it'll be better down there. But they don't have any money to pay you.
But this is the thing, Javon. There's no way the Niners are trading him to a team with a competent quarterback. So for the talk of how bad Jimmy G is, we're not sending him to Green Bay so he and Aaron Rodgers can just run havoc on us for the next 5 years. Not doing that. We're not going to trade him to Kansas City. Oh, hey, Patrick Mahomes can throw to him. So it's looking like the Commanders, the Jets, some scrub team with a whack quarterback send him to Atlanta where it's like, oh, man, I got all this money, but no one to throw me the ball.
He wants to be out of there so bad because maybe things are broken down to a point we don't know about that just is a release for him. Now, granted, where he goes may not be one of these grass ain't always green situations, but it's not until we're sitting there looking at the lawn that he's looking at that we know exactly why he wants out.
Listen, if somebody's trying to pay me $25 million, I can look at a lot of grass.
He's going to get $25 million no matter where he goes.
Yeah, look at remember Le'Veon Bell was the man in Pittsburgh, and then all of a sudden, hey, you want out? We'll see. I mean, NFL GMs can make your life a living Hades by throwing you get all the money you want, but you will get nothing of anything, and then you will be unusable for anybody else.
Yeah, and I want this
on
record. Who
came and signed with DC in the last 20 years knows that fact.
Yeah, I want this on record. I want Debo back, but I hate the way this is all playing out. So I would just rather him stay off social media, let the agent be the bad guy, not put himself at the center of fan wrath needlessly, so he can just get there, get his money, and all that good stuff. Chief, who's your nominee?
I'd like to just say one thing first, not about this Debo Samuel situation, man.
Yes, sir.
I read a comment about Ezra Miller, and the person said, you have a greater chance of being attacked by Ezra Miller in Hawaii than you do a shark And I thought that joke was hilarious. Oh yeah, that was good. That was good, man.
Sometimes reading the comments is worth it. That was one of those rare cases.
Yo, man, I'm gonna say, have y'all been checking out Ray Benzino lately?
Gosh, no.
Benzino been wilding out, bro. Wilding out. He was on, I guess Althea was his baby mama, man, and so he rode up on. She's popped up over her house. She was on a date with another dude, and he got to trying to attack the dude, and then he's out there crying when the police came, and I mean not like, you know, like a tear coming down. I mean full grown. You know, I done lost my mama cried like, and I'm like, yeah. So I seen that joint, and then I guess he got into another joint with on social media with people about Coyle Ray, and then she had to go on social media and check him. Was like, yo, I'm gonna release these screenshots of our conversation if you don't shut your mouth. And you know what I mean? So I'm like, Ray, yo, Benzino, you wildin', bro. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going on with you, man, but wherever, you know what I mean, take the time and go get you some help, man. I mean, you know, he can't drive, his license suspended. I'm like, man, when you in your 50s and your license suspended,
that's a problem.
Your 20s. You know what I mean? Like, at that point, man, as a grown ass man, you need your license, man. Let's just be real, man. You know what I mean? Certain things gotta be paid. Your mortgage, you know, your car note, because you gotta get to and from work. I'm not standing out at the bus stop in the cold. You know, certain things like that, man.
720's late again.
Yeah. My man don't got a license, bro. Just riding around, you know what I mean? Just dirty. Just all the time dirty. And then, you know, I'm like, yo, so...
Yeah, he definitely
he got evicted from his apartment. I'm like, yo, dude, what are you doing nowadays with your life, bro? Like, what happened? What happened to you, man? Last time I saw you, you was in a Rolls Royce Phantom. You was, you know what I mean?
Things ain't changed on this side.
Now you walking. You got a plastic bag holding your clothes.
That's a bad look.
I'm like, yo, he needs to go somewhere and talk to somebody, man. And I hope he gets the help he needs, man. And stay off the internet, man. I don't know what it is about these cats and the internet nowadays, man. And it's funny because when I get on the internet, I kind of view the internet as like almost like just cartoonish, like it's fake. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, these people really be getting mad at the things people say to them. I mean, what are you going to fight somebody? What are you going to do? You suck, Ray Benzino. Oh, I'll kill you. Like, yo. Like, you don't even know this person. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think people who are stars or whatever are out of touch with reality. Like, what are you doing? Like, who cares? You know what I mean? I told my man the other day, I said, you know, when's the last time you walking down the street and, you know, every once in a while you pass by like a crazy dude, he talking to himself, you know what I mean? You know, man, the next time I see them people, I'm gonna kill them, you know? And you just looking at him like, okay. That's like me getting into an argument with that man. You gonna kill who? And then now we on the sidewalk going back and forth with each other. Like, I don't care what this man says. This man has no bearing on my day. He can look at me and be like, oh, you a punk. I'll be like, oh, okay.
Well, what if Jason, I like that comment? What if Jason, I like that comment? That means
nothing to me. These people actually be getting in their feelings, crying and shit on the internet. I'm like, yo. So, like, yeah, Ray, man, wherever you are, whatever you doing, man, Go see somebody, man. Stay off the internet, man. Turn the comment section off. You don't need that love, bro. That's not for you. You're not right there. You're not right there for that comment section. You know what I mean?
All right.
So yeah, so Ray Manzino, man.
Cool. J King, who you got?
Damn, more dummy of the day than week, because this was hot off the press a few hours ago. Nationals had the Army Golden Knights do a parachute exercise into the stadium, you know, it's a pregame thing. And they had a full-blown evacuation at the Capitol behind it. Whoever is responsible for logistics, operations, security, communications, all of that, all of y'all need to pack up your shit and leave, because if you don't know, I mean, this isn't like the fan man that dropped down into the Holyfield in the bullfight. I mean, this is the Army Golden Knights. It's the Army. I don't know that this is happening. Then what? Who's working? Who's at the switch? But I guess we're playing white people Donkey Kong at the Capitol steps a year ago. Everybody's asleep at the wheel. Like, what's going on at the Capitol, man? Y'all didn't know that this was going on. The Army Golden Knights was doing a parachute drop into National Stadium. Was the panic worthy of evacuating the Capitol, all because this information wasn't shared? Like, it's Washington D.C. It's supposed to know every bit of air traffic coming over D.C.
Maybe they needed Benzino to retweet it. All right, well, fellas, thank you as always for rolling with me. Thank y'all out there for watching and listening. This episode of Lyle's Movie Files has been filed.